Have you ever agreed to something you didn't want to do because you were afraid of disappointing someone? Perhaps you said, "It's fine," when it really wasn't fine. You let the other person choose the restaurant, the holiday, the plan, or even the direction of the relationship because expressing what you wanted seemed likely to create conflict. Maybe people describe you as easygoing, flexible, kind, or undemanding. Inside of you or privately, you feel invisible, overlooked, misunderstood, or unsure of what you actually want because you've spent so much time adapting yourself to everyone else. I'm Dr. Dranitsaris. I'm a psychotherapist, leadership coach, author, MBTI certified practitioner, and co-creator of the Striving Styles personality system. This video is part of my series on the shadow side of the feeling function. In this video, I'm focused on introverted feeling and what I call the pleaser persona. Introverted feeling is the dominant mental function of INFPs and ISFPs. In the Striving Styles personality system, both of these types are called the artist striving style with a predominant emotional need to be creative. INFPs and ISFPs are internal evaluators. This means they make decisions according to personal values, emotional truth, and what feels meaningful and congruent within themselves. They seek harmony, authenticity, and alignment with their internal values. And while both prefer introverted feeling to make decisions, they gather information differently. INFPs use extroverted intuition to explore ideas, possibilities, meanings, and what could be. They often express their values through imagination, writing, advocacy, creativity, and a desire to help people become more fully themselves. ISFPs use extroverted sensing to engage directly with the present moment. They often express their values through action, aesthetics, practical kindness, personal style, and a sensitive awareness of what's happening around them. When they're functioning authentically or from their authentic self, INFPs and ISFPs can be deeply compassionate, principled, creative, emotionally perceptive, and loyal to what they believe is right. But we're born with two developmental systems, a self-actualizing system and a self-protective system. The self-actualizing system directs energy toward developing the authentic self. And for INFPs and ISFPs, this includes knowing their values, expressing their creativity, developing personal agency, and communicating what they need, feel, prefer, and believe. The self-protective system, on the other hand, directs energy towards managing anxiety, avoiding emotional pain, and ensuring that important emotional needs are met. And when an INFP or ISFP grows up in an environment where acceptance is conditional, personal preferences are dismissed, or expressing feelings creates conflict and pain, introverted feeling is called upon to help the child protect themselves from rejection. Perhaps the child is labeled difficult, dramatic, selfish, stubborn, or too sensitive when they express a different opinion. Perhaps the parent becomes hurt, angry, or withdrawn when the child says no. And perhaps belonging depends on being agreeable, accommodating, conforming, and emotionally easy to manage. The child learns that authenticity has consequences. This means that energy that is meant to support the development of their authentic self is now diverted into creating what I call the adaptive pleaser persona, and self-protection becomes more of their identity than their authentic self. A hidden rule or belief begins to take shape in childhood. I believe in, or I know that I am safe only when people approve of me. I belong when I do not disappoint anyone and I conform. My needs create conflict. It's easier to adapt than to risk rejection. And the introverted feeling itself is not the problem. It's the issue is that the introverted feeling has now been hijacked by the adaptive, self-protective pleaser persona to help it self-regulate by tracking approval, suppressing personal preferences and needs, and changing behavior to preserve emotional security. As adults, INFPs and ISFPs caught in this pattern may say yes before checking how they actually feel. They may agree with someone publicly while privately holding a different opinion. And they may also avoid making requests because they don't want to seem selfish or demanding, or they become anxious when another person appears disappointed in them and they change their opinion or mind. They can spend enormous energy catastrophizing, wondering whether someone is upset with them, replaying conversations, adjusting their tone, or trying to repair a relationship when no clear rupture has occurred. From the outside, they may appear cooperative, flexible, and easy to be around. Inside, they are simply feeling increasingly invisible. Over time, the pleaser persona loses contact with the very inner values, preferences, needs, and desires that introverted feeling is naturally designed to align their expression and behavior with. The person may know exactly what everyone else wants, but have no idea what they want themselves. Ask them where they'd like to go, what they need from the relationship, what they believe should happen, or what choice would make them happy, and they may answer, I don't mind, whatever you want, and it doesn't matter. But it does matter. The preference, feeling, or desire has simply been pushed out of awareness because expressing it once felt unsafe. Self-abandonment becomes the means of self-regulation. By being agreeable, low maintenance, and easy, the pleaser persona tries to protect the person from conflict and rejection. But each time they silence themselves, their agency and authority remains underdeveloped. The cost is a gradual loss of identity. The person may eventually feel that no one understands them, yet they have rarely allowed anyone to see their full emotional truth. They may long to be accepted for who they are, while continually presenting the version of themselves they believe others will approve of. The developmental task for INFPs and ISFPs is to reclaim the energy invested in pleasing and redirect it toward developing the capacities of the authentic self. This means pausing before agreeing, checking inwardly, and asking, what do I actually feel? What do I want? What matters to me here? It also means learning to express a preference without defending it, say no without excessive explanation, and tolerate the discomfort of another person being disappointed. An authentic response might sound like, I care about you and I have a different preference. I can be honest about what I need without abandoning the relationship or abandoning myself. Self-actualization does not require INFPs and ISFPs to become less considerate, sensitive, or accommodating. It means learning that harmony created through self-erasure is not genuine harmony because it's the internalization of the conflict. Approval gained by hiding the self cannot provide the experience of being truly and authentically known. When introverted feeling is freed from self-protection, it can serve its true purpose, clarifying values, developing identity, supporting authentic choices, and creating relationships in which the person can be both loving and fully present as themselves. If pleasing, self-abandoning, or fear of rejection is affecting your relationships, leadership, or ability to express yourself, contact me about individual sessions, relationship coaching, or leadership coaching. And look for other videos in this series where I introduce the shadow side of the feeling function and explore how extroverted feeling is used by the caretaker persona in ENFJs and ESFJs. Thanks for watching.